So here we are at the end of 2025, and those juiced up ACA subsidies are about to vanish on December 31st, meaning millions of Americans on marketplace plans are staring down the barrel of a gun of their premiums doubling or worse starting next year. That's 22 to 24 million Americans that are getting absolutely hammered with massive price hikes, a couple of a million who will straight up drop their coverage because who the fuck can afford all of that shit? And Congress? Congress is fiddling while the whole thing burns to the ground with no deal in sight as they pack for the holidays. House Speaker Mike Johnson, that Bible thumping wonder boy, drops a last minute Republican healthcare plan late Friday night, like dumping bad news in the weekend overflow, hoping, I'm guessing, that nobody would notice. Over 100 pages of classic GOP greatest hits, expanding those sketchy association health plans where small businesses and freelancers pool together for cheaper insurance. Translation: junk plans with skimpy coverage that leave you fucked if you ever get really sick or injured. Cracking down on the pharmacy benefit managers with some transparency bullshit. That's window dressing. In the grand scheme of things, it won't fix shit fast, and reinstating cost sharing reductions, but not till way later, like 2027 or some delayed crap. 100 pages of this. And this is what Mike drops on Friday. Oh, and guess what's totally missing? If you guessed a goddamn extension to the enhanced tax credits, Johnson's out there spinning it as tackling the real drivers of healthcare costs. But come on, this is just letting Obamacare bleed out without even pretending to replace it with anything proper or logical or efficient. Republicans are dug in, refusing to touch those subsidies that they hate because Obamacare bad or whatever. Senate tried their own flavor, dumping money into the healthcare systems and saying healthcare savings accounts like $1,000 a year for adults or 1,500 if you're over 50. Peanuts that would not actually touch any of the incoming premium apocalypses that are about to hit, that stalled out just like the Dems' push for straight up extension. Trump's yapping from the White House about some better alternative with direct payments to people instead of subsidies, but zero details as per usual. Classic smoke and mirrors from the Trump administration. That puts swing district Republicans in a vice. Guys like Brian Fitzpatrick and Mike Lawler are pissed, calling it political malpractice and absolute bullshit. That's Republicans. They're teaming up with Democrats on discharge petitions to force votes. Fitzpatrick's got a 2-year extension with an anti-fraud tweaks and some PBM reforms. Gottheimer's pushing a 1 year with tighter eligibility. And if I remember correctly, Jeffries is pushing for a 3-year straight extension with nothing else. Both of the GOPers are snagging GOP signatures, with Johnston's blocking the 4 votes like a gatekeeper from hell, going on Squawk Box talking about only 7% figure that is misleading as it is ignorant. Jeffries floating that clean 3-year Dem is the only real version that we should be looking at, but Dems scream no way that will fly in the Senate. It's all maneuvers and no movement. Time's up, and these half-ass fixes are a joke. That 7% figure that Johnson keeps touting out to the base on places like Squawk Box, let's just say he was 100% correct, shall we? He's not, but let's play. That's between 22 and 24 million American people watching their coverage skyrocket in price, while year after year covering less with higher deductibles and copays, etc. If we adjust for the children who cannot vote, inhuman, I know, but we're playing by Mikey's rule set here, so bear with me. That would change this demographic to about 14% of the voter base that's about to see Johnson and Trump's game of chicken with the American people end in a fiery car crash because they are too committed to the lie to pull out of this bullshit. Fuck, that was gross. Okay, back to being a human again. Peel it back, my friends. This is self-sabotage on steroids. Let the subsidies die, and that's not just people with higher bills. People will delay care, show up sicker to the ERs, rack up uncompensated costs that cannot be done any other way but to be shoved on everyone else's premiums and taxes. An invisible fuck you tax on the working stiffs, while Republicans pair this with Medicaid guttings that hit seniors, disabled folks, and kids the hardest. States like those with the rural hospital programs that are already closing, good luck. We've got 220 billion in Medicare debt piling up. We could wipe that out for peanuts. But nah, lets families drown because of this ideology. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps is what they tell you, right? And the big picture, America spends more on healthcare than any rich country, yet we're dead last in access, equity, and outcomes. Bottom of the barrel. International comparisons scream it. Single payer systems crush us on costs and coverage without all of this bullshit middlemen. This is a patchwork crisis. Job loss means coverage loss. Pre existing conditions used to screw you over. Premiums eating paychecks. It is unsustainable. Incremental tweaks, PBM oversight, junk plans, that's rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic after we've already hit the fucking iceberg. The real fix, the only one that matches the scale of the calamity that we are in, is Medicare for all. Guaranteed comprehensive coverage for every goddamn American. No premiums, no copays, no deductibles, no getting dropped because life happens. Keep employer plans as supplemental if you want the fancy shit. Cut out the private insurance, parasites, skimming profits, simplify the admin nightmare, and negotiate drug prices like a boss with real collective bargaining and leverage. Broaden the risk pool, lower system wide costs, free people to switch jobs, start businesses, live without fearing bankruptcy from a hospital bill. After years of this unstable half measure bullshit, letting subsidies cliff dive while pretending market solutions work, guaranteeing healthcare as a fucking human right is the only answer that we actually have that doesn't make this problem just another screw you a million times over. Top executives like John Driscoll are warning it's costly sabotage, ripple effects tanking coverage, spiking debt, shifting burdens. And Republicans, they're fine watching it implode. Wake the fuck up, people. This isn't an accident, it's a choice. If we let these subsidies expire without a fight, we're complicit in the pain that's coming for families, for children, for disabled people. Medicare for all isn't radical. It's the same response to a broken system profiting off of our suffering. Anything less is just kicking the can down the road while people bleed out. Mark my words. History won't forgive the politicians, those fucking cowards who let this happen. Shout it now or regret it when your bill doubles very, very soon.
Hi, I'm Jakk, and come back to us next time on FOFANews and follow us on Substack and click the little bell down below. It helps a small channel like us out immensely. Thank you for coming.